During his service, my husband was definitely exposed to things that a daily human in normal life would not be exposed to. Fall of 2000, he had been working, and that fall, just extreme fatigue. Come home from work, sleep in the next day, take a nap, 2, 3, 4-hour nap the next day. From that day on, his left hip started to hurt. And we kind of eked that through until February, when he finally saw a chiropractor, and the chiropractor said, this is not a hip or lower back issue. And that day we went to the hospital and were admitted. They saw a very hard mass on his left hip. They needle biopsied it that day. They didn't like the cells, and it came back as cancer. This is Jason, the day we found out, that about a month into his chemotherapy, that none of the chemotherapy he was under was working, and he was crying. And so our older dog crawled up onto him to lick his face. She was licking the tears off of him. And 23 years later, it's still very emotional for me to see a picture of him like that, because he's sick. It's frustrating to know that they had thought about this back then. And being a nurse, I get to deal with sickness and death a lot, and it makes me really frustrated and a little angry that they can keep telling these young men and women that they're not finding anything, knowing back in 2001 and 2003 and early 2000s that there was something going on there. So I was going through all of my photos and organization, and I found a diary that I actually didn't know I kept. And it starts just 5 days after his diagnosis. July 19th, 2001. We were in Boston. Jason had to go to radiation treatments twice today. He was admitted after his second radiation treatment to the ER with dehydration, a rash on his back. The ER stabilized him with fluid. He has an arrhythmia. I don't know what it is. I'm sure we'll find out. They put him on the ICU cardiac floor and got him stabilized about 3 a.m. Everyone's in the hospital. We all slept in his room. I hope there's some mercy ahead.